Saturn in the 7th house. In this video, I'm going to be discussing Saturn in the 7th house, everything you need to know about Saturn in the 7th house, how to master this placement, all right? Now, before I begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Subscribe, make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified every time I post new videos, all right? Let's discuss Saturn in the 7th house, all right? Now, when you have Saturn in the 7th house, this is similar to having natal Saturn in Libra because Libra rules the 7th house, all right? So what this means is that let's say you have your natal Saturn in a different sign. Let's say you have your natal Saturn in Gemini, but it's in the 7th house. So not only do you need to study natal Saturn in Gemini, you also need to study natal Saturn in Libra because Libra rules the 7th house. So both apply to you. Not only does natal Saturn in Gemini apply to you, so does natal Saturn in Libra apply to you. And you should study both. And you will find that when you study natal Saturn in Libra, both descriptions apply to you, all right? Not only that, see full video I did breaking down natal Saturn in Libra. The link for that is in the description box, okay? So I did a full video breaking down natal Saturn in Libra. You want to see the full video. You want to check that out. The link for that is in the description box, all right? So make sure you check that out. Now, another point, when you have natal Saturn in the 7th house, you're here to learn how to master relationships and partnerships, okay? Relationships and partnerships is a thing that we all deal with in our life. And when you have Saturn in the 7th house, you're here to learn how to master relationships and partnerships. Saturn is all about the things that Saturn in the house that it's placed in tells you the type of matters that you need to master. So you need to learn how to master relationships and partnerships, meaning that as you go through life and you have your experiences as it relates to relationships and partners, you have to learn how to master navigating through 7th house matters, which includes relationships and partnerships, and you have to master everything that it entails and how to deal with relationship partners and how to deal with business partners. Okay, so it's all about mastery of these matters. You may feel like relationships and partnerships are difficult for you, and you have struggles with the people you partner with, such as business partners, and with the people you get in relationships with. Okay, so when you have this, Saturn tells you the type of matters that you have struggles with. So when you have this placement, you may feel like relationships and partnerships are a struggle. They're difficult, and you may have had struggles with business partners. Okay, so that's just something to be aware of, and that's something that you have to overcome in your life. This indicates marriage delays, or you get married to an older person, all right? So what happens is with this placement, it doesn't mean that you're doomed. It doesn't mean that you're never going to get married or it's going to take forever to get married. A lot of times it also indicates that you may get married to an older person, and you may find that you're drawn towards older partners as well, okay? So don't think that you're doomed if you have this placement like, oh my God, I'm never going to get married. You don't want to put that out there because a lot of astrology people will tell you that like, oh, you know, marriage comes much, much later. You don't have to put that out there in the universe. Just, live your life, build relationships, and whenever it happens, all right? But it definitely helps if you form partnerships and relationships with older people because that's who it's more likely to happen with, someone who's older than you. This placement also indicates struggles with open enemies. The 7th house has to do with your open enemies that you're aware of. So what happens is a lot of times when you have this placement, you have struggles with open enemies and you have major issues with them, restrictions and limitations and fights, and that's something very difficult that you have to overcome, the struggles you have with those open enemies. Like say for instance you have a classmate or someone you go to school with that doesn't like you, you don't like them, and other people, it may be multiple people that are open enemies. A lot of times you notice in your life you have struggles with that, and you got to deal with that, and you have to overcome that. It's important that you master contract negotiations and don't sign contracts without reading them thoroughly. The 7th house has to do with contracts and contract negotiations, so it's very important that before you sign things, make sure you read them thoroughly, because a lot of times when you have this placement, people who have this placement, they don't read things as thoroughly as they should, and it comes back to bite them later. How to make best use of your natal Saturn when you have Saturn in the 7th house. You have to partner with people that are older and wiser and learn how to have harmony, compromise, and peace with others. All right, that's very important. You have to partner with people that are older and wiser, and you have to carry yourself in a way that you learn how to facilitate harmony, compromise, and peace with others. Don't try to fight with other people. Don't try to have grudges with people and get into war and stuff like that with people. Put your emphasis on having harmony, compromise, and peace with others, and get involved with people that are older and wiser, all right? So that's everything you need to know about Saturn in the 7th house. Thank you for taking the time out to watch my video. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Take care.